we believe, in some ways done to affect the entire community, to put fear in the entire community.
Grand Traverse County Prosecuting Attorney Noel Muggenberg announcing today the suspect in the mass stabbing incident at the Traverse City Walmart is facing a terrorism charge and 11 counts of assault with intent to murder. Good evening, Northern Michigan. Thanks for joining us at 11. This afternoon, Grand Traverse County officials and Munson healthcare leaders held a news conference to give an update on the situation. Our Maya Engel brings us the very latest.
I think it's fair to say that anytime you have someone that commits an incident or an act like this, there is some sort of mental health issue involved.
42-year-old Bradford Gille from Afton, Sheboygan County, entered the Walmart in Traverse City at 4:10 on Saturday afternoon. At 4:43, chaos erupted.
Central Dispatch began receiving calls stating that there was a man with a knife inside the Walmart store in Garfield Township, Grand Traverse County, Michigan, actively stabbing people.
Grand Traverse County Sheriff Mike Shea says that Gille injured 11 individuals.
The weapon used was a folding knife with a 3.5-inch cutting blade.
The 11 victims range in age from 29 to 84.
Based on the information I have at this time, I think it's random.
When the first deputy arrived at the scene minutes after Central Dispatch began receiving calls, the sheriff says multiple citizens, including one with a pistol, were confronting Gille in the parking lot, preventing him from harming further people.
First of all, I commend them. It's not very often that we have citizens that are willing to step up and take action.
Sheriff Shea says the deputy took Gille into custody without further incident.
When you stop and look at from the time of call to the time of actual custody, it actually was the individual was detained within 1 minute.
A motive has not been determined yet, but the sheriff says security footage from the store shows all 11 incidences.
So that will be all part of the ongoing investigation.
While it is not known exactly why Gille was at the Walmart Saturday, the sheriff says he may have lived in Grand Traverse County at one point.
So he was somewhat familiar with the area. He had recently, it appeared, traveled to our area, I believe on the day of the incident.
Sheriff Shea says that Gille does have a criminal record.
Mr. Gille's history shows prior assaultive incidents as well as controlled substance violations.
Gille is facing 11 charges of assault with intent to murder and 1 terrorism charge.
Anytime there is a mass incident like this, where it is something that appears at least to be just a very random act of violence, it's something that is done not to individual people, not to those individual victims. Obviously, they are most affected, but it is, we believe, in some ways done to affect the entire community, to put fear in the entire community and to change how maybe we operate on a daily basis. And so that is why we're looking at that terrorism charge.
Sheriff Shea commending everyone who was involved in the handling of the situation.
When you look at the collaboration that took place from the citizen involvement to all emergency services, to our transport teams, to Munson Medical Center, to the media, it is unbelievable. And I think that speaks volumes for the community that we live in.
In Grand Traverse County, Maya Engel, Up North Live News.
A terrorism charge has a maximum penalty of life in prison. Gille is expected to be arraigned either tomorrow or Tuesday. We're now getting a clear picture of the timeline of the incident yesterday. Again, the Grand Traverse County Sheriff's Office says Gille entered Walmart at 4:10 p.m. and stayed in the store until the incident happened. At 4:43 p.m., Grand Traverse County Dispatch got calls about a man with a knife actively stabbing people inside the Walmart. A Grand Traverse deputy near the Walmart arrived at 4:46. Sheriff Shea says when the deputy arrived, multiple people, including someone with a pistol, were confronting the suspect in the Walmart parking lot. Munson Medical Center says it started receiving patients at 5:01 p.m. The sheriff says 11 people were taken to Munson for treatment, including a Walmart employee. The hospital said today one of those victims has been released. 2 are serious and 8 are in fair condition. Munson healthcare leaders today praising its staff's response to the mass casualty situation.
Our commitment to the community shines very, very bright today. We're very proud of the well-coordinated responses. As Sheriff Shea indicated, those started in the field with EMS. They continued to carry over on-site at Munson Medical Center, where patients were met inside of our emergency department, our emergency center, with all of our healthcare personnel standing by.
Our trauma team was alerted prior to their arrival, and this involved a multidisciplinary mobilization of clinical resources, but also support resources for our clinical team.
The list of the victims includes a 70-year-old man, an 84-year-old woman, an 82-year-old man, a 29-year-old woman, an 80-year-old woman, a 67-year-old woman, a 38-year-old man, a 39-year-old man, a 65-year-old woman, a 41-year-old man, and a 55-year-old man. In a tragic situation, we're often told to look for the helpers, those who stepped up in a crisis to aid those around them, from the Walmart employees to the customers who stopped to help those who are injured. Tonight, our Allie Baxter brings us their stories.
We heard a lot of commotion, and somebody next to me said something about, oh, dumb teenagers making a ruckus, whatever. But then the screaming and commotion got louder and more serious, and I overheard somebody yelling, "He's got a knife."
I hear someone holler, "He's got a knife," and then screaming and running.
A chaotic Saturday afternoon leading to an eerily quiet Sunday. What usually would be a jammed parking lot of grocery shoppers is empty, besides a couple of investigators.
It was like your worst nightmare. Watching things on TV like that doesn't even come close.
Jan Beatty and her husband were shopping when they witnessed an older woman attacked with a knife.
I saw his arm wipe across her face, and he slashed her face. And then he went down the frozen food aisle, and my husband saw him stab a young man right in that aisle.
Jan and her husband were caught on camera helping the woman, staying with her until first responders could take her to Munson Medical Center.
I just left. We had groceries that were there. My sister had bought in some groceries, and they're still in the car at Walmart. We don't have them. And my mom had a cane that's in the cart that we don't have access to anymore right now either.
Laura Fearns and her sister Juanita were at the self-checkout when people started screaming. The next thing they knew, they were putting pressure on a victim's wound.
I would just hope somebody would do the same to me, if I was her in that situation. My mom's always taught me to, if you could be helpful, to help.
But the impact of what the sisters witnessed is sticking with them.
I had a bad night. I had some nightmares.
We went to Family Fair afterwards, and the checkout's right there. And in my head, I'm like, well, this could happen right here, And it's now making me second guess everything of what I should be going, or look at all the people as I go by now.
This incident has left its mark on a community. Even one of our own employees was affected. He and his young children were inside Walmart at the time before being ushered outside. He says trying to explain to them what happened is difficult.
They keep asking, why did we leave the store? They were more bummed that we left the bottle of bubble bath in the cart. So they kept asking specifically about why did we leave the bubble bath, and trying to explain to them that your lives are much more important than any stuff. Trying to explain that to them at their level so that they understand, it was not safe, that we had to get them out of there as soon as possible.
In Grand Traverse County, Allie Baxter, Up North Live News.
During the news conference today, prosecuting attorney Muggenberg also pointed out counseling options available to community members. They include a community counseling center offering free counseling to anyone affected by the incident, and Northwestern Michigan College's Innovation Center. That will be open Monday through Wednesday from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Grand Traverse Mental Health Crisis and Access Center offers 24-hour counseling. She also relayed a Munson Healthcare Crisis hotline number, which is on your screen. Lawmakers reacting across the state this weekend. Traverse City Mayor Amy Shamrow and Interim City Manager Benjamin Marentet released a joint statement this morning. They said, quote, "Traverse City is a place of love and firmly denounces all forms of violence. We offer up love, support, and peace to the victims and all who care about them, our first responders and healthcare providers." Attorney General Dana Nessel talking about what comes next. She said, quote, "Grand Traverse prosecutor Noelle Muggenberg is a dedicated career criminal prosecutor, and I maintain full faith in her and her office in the handling of this matter. My department has been in touch and has offered our assistance wherever it may be valuable." FBI Deputy Director Dan Bongino said FBI personnel are responding to provide any necessary support to the Grand Traverse County Sheriff's Office in their investigation of the attacks. And a showing of unity tonight from the Walmart in Cadillac. The staff taking a picture with a sign that says Traverse City Strong. The post on their Facebook page included a caption that said, quote, "We stand with you. Our thoughts and prayers are with you and the entire community as you try to heal from this horrible tragedy. We are not just neighbors, we're Walmart family."